Well, a sailor from Marietta will be laid to rest this week more than 82 years after he was killed. Shipfitter third class John Donald was one of more than 400 sailors lost on the USS Oklahoma during the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Good Day's Lindsay Tuman spoke with the Navy about how they've been identifying sailors nearly a century after the attack and giving closure to their families.
December 7th, 1941 was a day that changed U.S. history. The attack on Pearl Harbor killed 2,403 U.S. personnel, destroying 19 U.S. Navy ships.
USS Oklahoma was one of these ships that was destroyed during the Pearl Harbor bombing. Unfortunately, 429 sailors were lost in that particular attack. And directly following, there were only 35 that were able to be identified.
The vast majority of those sailors were laid to rest in caskets, marked as unidentified. That is until the start of the USS Oklahoma project. Genealogists tracked down relatives, then DNA technology matched the sailors' remains with family to finally identify them. Lieutenant Commander Jory Moore served on the project as the Navy branch head of POW MIA.
So of the 429, there were identifications for all but 33.
28-year-old shipfitter third class John Donald from Georgia was identified on April 11, 2018, 27,884 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor. After more than 80 years, there are mixed reactions from families.
Some of the families actually react in a way that they didn't even really know that they had a family member that died at Pearl Harbor. Some families are very well aware, have followed the cases closely, and are really seeking that closure. So we see both sides of it.
All of the families work with the Navy to plan a funeral for the sailors, some in local cemeteries, others at Arlington National Cemetery. That's where John Donald will be laid to rest.
And it's a mission that does not stop. And, you know, we are overjoyed every time there's an identification, just like we are for this family. And just we hope that at the end of the process, the family has gotten the closure that they were looking for, and that they feel like it was handled in an honorable way.
Closure 82 years later for lives lost in an attack that shaped the history of the country and the world. Lindsay Tuman for Good Day Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Incredible work that they're doing. Truly is.
Technology's come a long way.
It has. The 33 sailors that could not be identified in the project were reinterred in a cemetery in Hawaii.
And there was a service held back in December to honor their lives. And it's so good to see that they were able to give some of those families some closure for sure.
No doubt.